Alright everyone, in the previous video we got the number to clone itself so that when units got too high, when it got past 9, it created a tens to kind of pick up that value. The problem was that the clone acted just like the original, so every time the wizard scored a point, the clone went up. Well, we don't want that. What we want is that the clone goes up every time you score 10. So it's going to take a couple of videos to fix that. In this video, we're going to lay the foundations by creating IDs for the clones so that each clone can be spoken to individually. It's kind of like a name for each clone. So the problem is obvious. We're just creating a clone. We're not doing anything with it. It's just a perfect copy of its parent. And so what's happening is when you get increment score, because this is broadcast, it's going to every clone. And because the clone is just a copy of the original, it's just doing all the same stuff. Now, in a way, we want it to do the same stuff. We want it to go up from 1 to 2, from 2 to 3, from 3 to 4. But we want it to do it more slowly and only when it is its turn. So what we need to do is we need some kind of test that says, hey, before you do this stuff, make sure it's your turn. So what I want to do first is I want to create an identity for the clones. And that way later what we can do is we can have broadcasts be directed to the clone that it's supposed to be for. So we can kind of say something like, look, this broadcast is going out to everybody, but it's only meant for this particular clone. Well, the only way we can do that is if we have some way of referring to that particular clone. So we need some kind of identity for individual clones. And so we'll identify them with a number, and the number will be based upon their column, as it were. So are they units, tens, hundreds, thousands? We'll just give them that number. So this, for example, is ones. So we'll just give it the number 1. It's units. So we'll just give it the number 1. So when I receive start game, create a variable, call it my ID. For this sprite only, very important. And then we will set my ID to 1, because at the beginning of the game, the only clone that's in existence is the original. It's not really a clone, which carries the 1s. And then I also want to make a variable that says highest column. And we want to make that for all sprites. And I'm going to set the highest column also to 1. Now, what's the highest column? Well, if you have a column of units, tens, hundreds, thousands, and say you've got a number, so here represented on this abacus is 4 tens and 1 5, so that's 45. That's what that means. The highest column here is the tens, because everything after that doesn't have anything in it. Now, if I represented 345, then the highest column would be hundreds. Similarly, 720, the highest column is hundreds. So you get the idea. So the highest column is the furthest column that we've got to, the biggest number that we've got to. So the highest column at the beginning of the game is just 1. It's just the 1s, just the units. Now we go to when I start as clone, set my ID to what? Well, if you're a new clone, then you're the furthest left. So you're the new highest column. So whatever the old highest column was set to, you'll be 10 times that. So actually we can take care of both of these at once. So set highest column to 10 times what it used to be. So 10 times what? Times the oldest highest column. So highest column is 10 times the old value of highest column. And then set my ID to that, to the new value of highest column. So now each clone gets its own ID. The first sprite, the master sprite, gets the ID 1. The second thing that comes out is going to be 10 times that. The third thing so it's going to be 10. The third thing that comes out is going to be 10 times that, so it's going to be 100. Now these are just IDs at the moment. They're not going to make any difference to the scoreboard, but this is going to allow us to treat different clones differently. So not treat them all the same like we did with the rain or the mist or the leaves, but treat them as distinct individuals. And we'll do that in the next video. Thank you for listening, and if you find this video useful, please hit like and subscribe.